this is Judy at Judi in the Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how I make some very simple rice patties. Now these things can be made in a wide variety of ways. They can be plain and simple. They can be sweet or they can be savory. They can be used as a grab-and-go snack or even a meal or even a dessert. I like them plain and used as like a bread type substitute with a meal, something very simple, or maybe just a quick, simple pick-me-up type of snack. And that's what I'm going to focus on today. And the key to making these things work is to use a short grain rice of any type that you prefer. It can be brown rice or it can be a white rice, but it needs to be a short grain rice or a combination of short grain and long grain rice. The key there is the stickiness in it. The shorter grain rice is stickier. When it's cooked, it's got more starch in there, and that's what's going to help to hold things together. Alright, now I'm starting with a round type of cutter, and this is probably one that's about 2 3/4 inches in diameter. You want to make these things relatively small. They will hold together better that way. If you don't have any sort of a round cutter, you could form it with your hands and kind of flatten it out some. That might be a little more difficult to do, but it is possible. Or you could take a cat or dog food can and wash it out good and cut both ends off of it, and you'll have a round cutter, or even a tuna fish type of can, that sort of thing. Anyway, I have a whole set of cutters, and so I'm just using one that's about mid-range out of there. And I have some cooked rice here, and this is 1 part short grain rice. This is all brown rice, but 1 part short grain brown rice to 3 parts of long grain. That is the least amount of short grain rice you would want to use in this type of recipe. The only reason I have it broken down like that is because I was going to cook all short grain, but when I went to do it, I realized, oh no, I'm about out. So I had to mix the two, which I don't normally do. Now, I'm going to get a 1/4 cup measuring device here, measuring cup. And I'm going to put about 1/4 cup of rice in there. You can do a little bit more, maybe 1/3 of a cup if you want. But I'm going to make it relatively small. And so I've got 1/4 cup of rice in here. And I'm going to add it into this little ring. And I'm going to take my spoon and really compress it down. And again, I'm making this plain. This was salted rice. I salted the water when I was cooking it. I want this to be plain. If you want to add things, I mean, you can add all sorts of things to this. You can add meat, fish, poultry, beans, vegetables, fruits. If you want to make it into a dessert, you can add all sorts of things. The key to that would be to cut everything really small, and make sure you use, the more things you add to it, the more percentage of short grain rice. Really probably go with all short grain rice. Anyway, you see this is compressed really down. I can just lift the ring right off, and there it is. It's in a round shape, which is wonderful for making this recipe. I'm going to do another one. I'm not going to do a whole lot because I'm going to also show these in another way in another video. So there is another 1/4 cup of rice. Put it into the ring. I'm going to compress it down with my spoon. I really like using the little ring versus trying to do it in my hand, because it just comes out so nice this way, and it holds together really well. You don't have to get your hands all slopped up, but I like the shape of it. It just comes out really well, and it becomes very easy to eat. Now, because this only has 1 part of short grain rice in there, these are going to be a little bit more crumbly than what I like, but that's what I had to deal with at the moment. So I've got 2, and I'm just going to cook these 2, and we're going to do it on the stove. I have a cast iron skillet here warming up on, a little more than medium heat. It's on number 6 out of 10. And you want a little bit of fat added to the pan. Now, since I'm only cooking these 2, I'm not going to add a huge amount, but I want, just for flavor, a little bit of butter in there, and I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil in here as well. Not a whole lot. Obviously, if I'm cooking more, I would probably have a little more fat in here. You see it's already warming up really well. So now I'm going to take these and just add it to the pan and allow them to saute for not a whole long time, just a few minutes on each side until they're just golden brown. And it will form just a mild crispness on there. And of course, with more short grain rice in there than what I've got, when you can just pick them right on up and eat them like it was a piece of bread or a biscuit or something. It's really wonderful. And like I said, people add all sorts of things to this. I wanted these plain for myself deliberately, but you can add cheese, meat, poultry, fish, vegetables, just seasonings, herbs, all sorts of things. Just the sky's the limit. You can season them any way you want. And it can be anything from a light snack to a side dish to a meal in itself to a dessert. However you season it and whatever you put in there transforms it into whatever type of use you want it for. You can hear it sizzling really well. And just move them around a little bit so I know that they're not going to stick. Alright, I think these have sizzled enough on this one side. And again, they would hold up better if it was all short grain rice. But I'm using what I have for the moment because I wanted to show you this process. Now they're golden brown, they're beautiful. I'm going to allow them to just stay on this heat until the second side is golden brown, and then I'll show you what they look like. And there are my finished rice patties. It took maybe 5 to 7 minutes for them to cook. And again, you need the short grain brown rice, and they will hold together very well, where you can just pick them up with your fingers and eat them. And I'm going to eat these with my salad today. It'll be like a biscuit substitute kind of thing, just for some starch to go in there. And they're delicious. I'll be posting more videos over time using these basic rice cakes as a foundation for all sorts of things to be added to them. If you have suggestions and things that you like in your rice cakes, put them in the comments below and let everybody know. This is Judi at Judi in the Kitchen. Have a great day.